And I am actually lying on my Reiki energy table right now. Oh, orientation is locked. What does that mean? Oh, I'm still recording. It's just telling me not to try to change the angle at which I'm recording because my angle did that. But I am in my new office, lying on my table in my own personal space. And this is a really big deal for me because it took me breaking a lot of cycles to get here. So, over the last few months, things have been insane. Over the last few years, over like my entire life, over like, you know, the vein of my existence, things have been a little insane. And as you know, I've been trying to navigate my own healing and growth. And while I do that, I work with others and I help guide them as they work on their own. And I have been doing this through really cool excursions in like outdoor sessions, house calls, unique, different, fun ways. And now I am doing this here in my own space. And the reason why I wanted to talk to you from here right now is because I wanted to talk about what it means to authentically show up and why that is so important. So, for a long time, I have been, own growth. I've been kind of like keeping myself stagnant because I've been so afraid to commit to things that would take me to the next level. Every time I've been so close to advancement, I've pulled myself back. And it has a lot to do with fear of success, fear of commitment, fear of rejection, all of those things that this human society we live in ingrains into our heads. And I've been facing that head on. I've been working on it. Some days it's easier than others. Some days you feel like just crawling under a blanket and, you know, shutting down for the day, for the week, for a year, whatever long it takes you to kind of reset to feel better. Some days it feels like you got to do that. And that's okay when those days come. It's okay to feed into that and to allow yourself to pull back and take a break and give yourself the rest that you need. It totally, totally is okay. You 100% should rest when you feel like you need to rest. Listen to your body, trust yourself. You know you better than anyone. But it's also just so important to authentically show up. So I personally have been putting this off for so long, kind of finding a home because I've been afraid to commit to a location for work. And when I say finding a home, I mean finding a home for my business, for Wicked Smart Wellness, for me to do my intuitive healing, for me to host some of my creative events, all of that fun stuff I love to do. I haven't been able to find a location where I would commit to doing it. And I actually, I had a dream. I had a dream a few months ago that I was working out of my mentor's space, sharing a suite with her, sharing an office with her. Her name is Nicole Henley Spiritual Alchemy. And I had a dream that I was working out of her space, like in a place where I just feel so energetically safe and able to be myself, able to heal and grow. And I imagined myself working here, being able to work with others, using this space to share, to share this experience with others, to work my magic with them and to just do what I can for myself and for them right here. Like I just imagined it. I saw it. And the next day, the very next day, the next day, I saw that a space opened up in the suite that she works in. And I reached out to her. We talked, and here I am. I signed a lease. I committed. I broke a cycle. And the thing is, as soon as I broke that cycle, it doesn't mean that things just started flowing in, right? There's still been a ton of little obstacles that have been trying to stop me from moving forward. It's been, there's always something that's going to stop you. I live almost an hour away from my office space, which sounds a little silly for some, but some people get it. Like, you know, when it's meant to be, the traveling does not make a difference. For me, this is where I'm meant to be right now, and it's great. However, I want to tell you about how I got my first client. And I want to tell you about the fact that I haven't really committed to the space yet. It was just this empty, blank room, just a room that honestly resembled a closet. And I hadn't really put much thought into it yet. I knew kind of what I wanted to do with it, but I hadn't really done anything whatsoever. So I finally decided to just come here and spend some time here without it being complete. It was just a blank, empty room. And I was delayed in the day. My son getting to school got a little bit delayed, so everything got pushed back. And I was like, do I really want to start the day so late and still go? And I was like, you know what? Yeah, no, I'm gonna still go. So I did. I pushed through. I came, and the second I stepped over the threshold, I got a notification that a client booked in. Not just any client, but a new client. And my first client ever. Right here in the first official space of Wicked Smart Wellness. Woo! So that is why it's so important to authentically actually show up for yourself. Because I was putting off getting the space ready and coming here for when I was putting it off. I was waiting for someone to make me have to do it, pretty much. I was waiting for it to come to the point where like it's like, all right, you have no other choice. Clients are coming in, this or that. But no, the clients weren't coming in. The clients didn't start coming in until I started showing up. And that is the most important thing to highlight here. That is the most important thing to remember. Nothing started manifesting in which the way that I have been desiring until I started putting the work in and authentically being here for me, for my clients, for my business, but not just mentally, not just in here, but actually physically being here made all the difference. So that's my little tidbit for today. I just wanted to talk about why it's so important to authentically show up, no matter how much thought you think you're putting into something. The world doesn't work that way. We can't just think it and make it happen. I mean, sometimes we can, but that's for the most part. No, seriously, nothing gets done without putting the work in. So you can think it all you want, but until you start taking the steps and authentically showing up for yourself, you're not going to see those results you're looking for. So this is the sign that you have been waiting for to make your next move. Take whatever steps it is that, or whatever it is that you've been doing, that you've been putting off. Time to do it. It's time. Whatever it is that you've been waiting to bring forward, let's do it. Just show up for yourself. That's all you got to do. So while we're at it, I'll let you see what my space looks like. For right now, I'm still in the building processes of this. So over here, I have this temporary shelf that I have some of my things like my Reiki certification, my Reiki manuals, and some other books going on over there. I have this little altar that I created with my incense, crystals, salt, some things that family heirlooms. I actually have my tea there. I got my drum. I got some things set up for like all those little goodies over here. And I got some of my art on the walls. This was actually made by a friend who's like a family member years ago. She's an incredible artist, Kendall C. It is, as you can see, we have Marilyn Monroe on there, and it's the quote. I love this quote. Imperfection is beauty, madness is genius, and it's better to be absolutely ridiculous than absolutely boring. And this was made for me years ago, and I carry this with me on my journey because that's one of my favorite quotes to remember. Butterflies. I don't think I even have to explain the resemblance or the significance of, transformation as we evolve and grow. And over here we have some of my candles that I make, and some more candles down here, my sound bowls, and everything's just going. So I'm just gonna get back on my comfy table. It's heated and warm. I'm gonna get under a blanket, and I'm gonna take some time to journal for myself and to think about ways that I can authentically show up for myself, for my clients, for my business, and I encourage you to do the same. So take a moment for yourself and just decide, how can you authentically show up for you right now in a way that will help you bring forward all of your dreams, intentions, goals, desires, whatever it may be. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen by starting to show up. Thank you so much for tuning in. This has been a long-awaited update of Ascending Alps because, I've been navigating my life, and sometimes the privacy of just, going through the ebbs and the flows is necessary as I try to process and work through what's going on. So thank you so much for tuning in and for joining me on this journey. I'm Amanda Marie. Love and good vibes, everyone. Love and good vibes, and we will talk soon. Mwah. Don't forget, show up for yourself.